So in this video, we are back for our second tranche of videos for Converge ICT IPO. We're gonna talk about who is Converge, the macroeconomy, what makes ICT Converge very, very good in this new normal, is the Philippines in an inflection point in the fixed broadband space, and lastly, what makes ICT Converge so different. If you want to know more about that, then check this video out. Hi guys, so we are back again with our series. Remember, I mentioned that we're gonna do a deep dive on the Converge IPO, and with that, we are back with our second video. On the first video, we talked about the overall basic and overarching framework of the Converge IPO, but for this video, I want to talk about the business of Converge and including the macroeconomic framework of where it is, giving you details and giving you numbers to help you make the right decision whether this is something good or bad for you to invest in. So I don't know how many videos I will make leading up to the IPO this October, but I'm looking at 7 or 8 videos giving you enough information so that you can decide. Please remember this also. These are never stock picks. This is not me giving a recommendation that you should buy it, but this is me giving you data so you get to analyze it and understand it on your own. Because if at the end of the day you buy because someone from YouTube said it, then you miss the whole point. The whole point of you making money in the markets, the whole point that will give you strength to be able to win and trade the markets with confidence is that you know and you know what you're getting into. You've studied it, you've done your research, and that's what we're doing here. We are giving you as much information as possible. So I'm excited because for today, this is what we'll talk about. I divided it into 5. Comment below, say 5. Comment below, I'm excited. But number 1, we're going to talk about Converge ICT as a company. Then we're going to talk about macroeconomic framework. Then we're going to talk about what makes ICT Converge good in this new normal. Then number 4, we're going to talk about the Philippine fixed broadband market. And is it actually growing? Is there actually a bright spot in it? And number 5, drill down on the company, what makes Converge ICT different. So if you guys are excited, comment below, I'm excited. By the way, if you're new to this, my name's Marvin Guillermo, and I'm a stock market trader and investor, and I've been investing in the market for more than a decade now. And the whole goal, the whole heart of why I make videos like this is I just have one intention. I just want to help you. I just want you guys to see that the stock market is one way for you to be able to build an asset that in all intents and purposes, may chance that bumaba, may potential na bumaba, may potential also that it may not come out as good. But I'd rather that you invest than you spend your money into something that will be nothing at all later on. So if you're new to this, appreciate it if you can subscribe and smash that bell so you get updated every time I come up with new content about investing, about the stock market, and for today, Converge ICT IPO video number 2. Okay, so let's begin. So who is Converge ICT? All of this, by the way, everything that I'm discussing, these are all public information and you can find this from the prospectus. All of the information is just available at the tip of your fingertips. Now, Converge ICT is the largest high-speed broadband operator in the Philippines. Its market share as of March 31, 2020 is currently at 54%. And what's so interesting about it is its residential business currently has 51% of the market share by looking at the new subscriptions from January 1, 2018 to March 31, 2020. And its enterprise business, they have 2 segments, is growing 3.3 times massively between 2016 to 2019. So what's so interesting about them is they are the only major pure play high-speed fixed broadband provider that's exclusive on serving the Philippine fixed broadband market. So again, it's not me making any of these claims, it's what they have disclosed in the prospectus. So that's Converge ICT. So I'm gonna make a video about Converge ICT versus PLDT, Globe, and versus also Dito. I'm gonna make a video on that. But just so you already know right here, right now, the main difference between all of them is basically Dito is focusing on mobile. Converge is just basically fixed broadband. So if you guys want to make that video next, just comment Converge versus Dito, and we're gonna do that. We're gonna make that as well. Next, let's look at the macro economy. The Philippine broadband market right now is a blue ocean market, meaning there's not much competition. Wherever they would put it, there's such a large demand. There's such a large need for it. There's more people who want it, who need it, who can afford it, who can get it, as compared to the ones providing it. That's what's happening right now. It's just like you being the only milk tea place in a certain province na wala kang kalaban, that there's so much opportunity right now that's still underserved. And a couple of things is there's low penetration, there's slow access to speeds, there's low network reliability, and majority of the ones that were ahead of them are still using legacy infrastructure. The current percentage of usage in the Philippines is you have fixed broadband at 14%, fiber at 6% as of last year. And one of the reasons why this is very, very low, it's not because walang panggastos yung mga tao, but it's mainly because there's just lack of access. So for those who've been following my channel for quite some time, remember what I said about for you to make money in business, and the biggest technique for business is find a need, find the pain point, find the problem, and address it. And the problem is there's slow internet. The problem is people want to connect. There's no facility for them to connect right now. The biggest focus is on wireless connectivity, and that's where everyone has been focusing, because the focus has been there. This entire fixed broadband infrastructure space has not really been the primary focus, and that's why there's still a large gap that can still be filled. Comparing us to other countries in the ASEAN region, we have one of the slowest internet speeds. So just so you know also, the Philippines as of 2019 ended with only 3.5 million fixed residential broadband users, which is around 14%. That's a jump already, because some of you 8 years ago, 7 years ago, you were not using broadband at home. But over the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you now started to have more broadbands. So broadband penetration has jumped. 2015, it was only 9%. 2019, 14%. Vietnam is 58%. Thailand is 44%. Malaysia is 38%. One of the countries that we've beat in our region is Indonesia at 12.4%. As a broadband market, the Philippines is underdeveloped and has the slowest average speed in our region. And there's a lot of factors that you have to analyze also. And if you compare us with different countries, the Philippines is an archipelago. Since it's made up of different islands, it's also harder to connect them via broadband. That's why there's a big fight over mobile, because since we're an island, it's easier for them to connect us using mobile wireless connections. But if you're connecting inter-island, you're using cables, it will be more costly because you're passing it through water, and it will be also more difficult. That's why it's faster for Vietnam, Thailand, and Malaysia, because they're not an island, they're not an archipelago. Now, here's what's so interesting that you need to know. 75% of households can afford high-speed broadband, but the availability is very, very limited. And if you compare us also to other countries, download speed, Thailand, 150 Mbps, Malaysia, 79.9 Mbps, Vietnam, 43.3 Mbps, download speeds, Philippines, 23.8 Mbps. The only one that we've beat, again, is Indonesia at 21.1 Mbps. Now, one of the things that you could also note, and I think I made this also on some videos talking about telco, looking at mobile tower subscriptions, in the Philippines, you have 9.4 competing over one tower, then Indonesia 3.5, Thailand 1.8, Vietnam 1.4, Malaysia 1.3. If you go to more developed markets in the US, it's 2. And what's so interesting about the Philippines is, in terms of mobile technology, you have 4G, which is still 46%, 3G 39%, and 2G around 14%. Now, number 3, what makes ICT good in this new normal? Please remember this, Filipinos have a high propensity to spend, which is particularly zoomed into broadband. And one of the reasons about this is we have a very, very young population that's internet savvy. If you see the number of people that are in TikTok, you see the number of people that are in YouTube, you see the number of people that are so active in social media, we have one of the youngest population mix. We have a lot of Gen Zers that grew up in this, that grew up only knowing about that iPhone, only knowing about a mobile-only environment that hindi naglaro ng sipa, hindi naglaro ng tumbang preso, hindi naglaro ng patintero. Like people my age, comment below kung alam niyo mga games na kung hindi niyo alam, tanungin niyo sa taong mas matanda sa inyo. But why am I saying this? These people that did not play games outside, all they know is using stuff with their phone. And we have one of the youngest populations in the world, in our region. Anyways, another reason is a lot of the things that we're doing right now, especially because of the coronavirus, a lot of the items now are becoming more digital. And because a lot of people are using this, a lot of people are watching videos, a lot of people are playing games, a lot of those are internet heavy, which means data consumption would be bigger. And one of the reasons why ICT Converge would be more amazing in this new normal is that disposable income has been increasing. And it's not just that thing. It used to be having internet was a want. Now, it's considered to be a need, especially right now because of the coronavirus. And because of the coronavirus, most of us are at home. Since we're at home, a lot of the things that we need to do require the internet. Since a lot of the things that you do require the internet, you would need faster speeds for you to be able to transact. Next, the Philippine fixed broadband market, it's at the point where we could see massive growth. So why am I saying this? I mentioned it at the start that the broadband penetration in the Philippines was around 14% in 2019. It's expected to be 32% by 2025. In the next 6 years or 5 years from the time this video is being made, we will see that the broadband penetration move from 14% to 32% in 5 years. And a template for that is what happened in Thailand and Vietnam, where they saw a rapid increase of people relying on broadband when a larger infrastructure of the fiber network was laid out. Again, the whole context of Converge ICT is there's a lot of need, but there's not a lot of people providing it. There's not a lot of companies providing it. That if they provide it, the customers will just come. Another thing is this. There's something that they call average revenue per user. What does that mean? If you've noticed it and you look at the plans of each of the broadband providers from Globe, PLDT, and also Converge ICT, they have different plans. And the name of the game and their technique basically is they're trying to push you to get the higher plans because that's where they would also earn more. So the higher the speeds, the higher the add-on services, the average revenue per user also starts to increase. But what they're saying here is even if there's competition, everything will be stable as of the moment. Next, the Philippine broadband market has a large, please take note of this, large total addressable market of approximately 5.2 billion US dollars, which, please take note of this, will increase, is expected to increase to 6.9 billion by 2025. But the total market size right now, 2019, as of 2019 data, is only 1 billion US dollars. 18.5 million households in the Philippines can afford fixed broadband but do not have a subscription because of the lack of access. As of now, there's 3.5 million subscribers, which represents only 19% of an addressable market. So, what makes ICT different? And this is my fifth point, and we're going to end with this. Now, this fifth point will be divided into a couple of things. Their business segments, ICT's network, the effect of the lockdown, their subscriber growth, the way they retain customers, the average revenue per user, their capital expenditures, and then we're gonna close it from there. I hope this is something that's helping you. I hope this is something that's adding so much value to all of you, and I'm trying to make my energy high also so that it's something that's also not boring. Remember, the reason why I keep doing this every day, commitment, the discipline to do this, no matter how tired I am or no matter how busy I am, is I just really want to give you as much quality content as possible. I just want to give you as much information as possible in a world where there's so much fighting, There's so much bickering in social media, people saying bad stuff about each other. I want this channel to be one of the channels that are giving hope, inspiration, but not just that, information that will help you make money. And knowing more about the company also will help you decide if it's something that's worth getting into or not. Now, so what makes Converge ICT different? Alright, this was a survey made by media partners that the internet is 2.2 times faster and is approximately 2.3 times more reliable than other providers, which they're still using legacy copper networks. And one of the things that's so interesting also about Converge ICT is they were one of the first in the market to provide unlimited data packages for residential customers in 2016. And they have add-ons where you could add 10 Mbps for 99 pesos, etc. Again, the name of the game, the goal of those add-ons is to just increase revenue per customer. Isipin nyo to. One of our businesses is we have a barbershop. So, in a barbershop, how do we add our revenue to customers? Basically this. Sir, baka gusto nyo magpaahit din. Sir, baka gusto nyo massage. Sir, baka gusto nyo bumili ng pomade. Sir, gusto nyo ganito. Kasi nandun na yung customer, they're already consuming one space. Why not maximize it and let them spend more? Similarly, when you're in McDo, you're already in that slot, you're already ordering, you're already spending. They will say, sir, upsize. Sir, go large. Sir, baka you want sundae on the side. Something like that. And that's what they're doing. And that increases their revenue from one person. Instead of just spending, say, 1,500, it becomes 1,800. So, things like that. Now, two business segments. Number one is they have a residential segment which offers high-speed fixed broadband services. Second is enterprise business, which offers also high-speed broadband internet services for businesses. But since they're offering it to businesses, they have other functions as well. Private data network solutions, cloud and collaboration services, and other connectivity solutions to enterprise customers, depending again on their size already. Next, let's talk about Converge ICT's network. This is what makes them so interesting. They have 30,000 kilometers of fiber as of the end of the first quarter 2020, and they operate the fastest growing end-to-end fiber network in the Philippines, which they have a backbone that stretches from the northern tip of Luzon to the southernmost tip, and their fiber distribution and last mile network covers 200 cities and municipalities across Luzon, including Metro Manila as of the end of the first quarter of 2020. And what's so interesting is this: they've approximately reached 4.1 million homes, and the backbone, the technique, and one of the reasons also they're doing this IPO is to have more funds, so that the goal is to connect Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao by the end of 2021. Please remember, exposure of Converge right now is primarily, heavily, exclusively in Luzon. But the name of the game is to expand outside Luzon and to go to Visayas and Mindanao as well. Let's zero in on the effect of the lockdown. If you've been following a lot of the videos that I've been making over the past few months already since we started the lockdown, I said that there are some stay-at-home stocks. And this is one of them. Meaning, more people using Netflix, more people using Facebook, more people using Zoom, more people consuming via YouTube, means that they will need internet. And here's what's so interesting about that. The numbers are backing it up. Why? May 2020, 50,000 new residential subscribers. Highest that they've had. If you compare it January and February 2020, they had around 33,000 in those months. And June 2020 was even better. They ended it with 60,000 new residential subscribers. So that's what I'm saying. Because of the coronavirus, because of the lockdown, because people are staying at home, ICT Converge is one of the biggest winners in all of this. ICT Converge is one of the ones that is coming out even bigger, better, stronger. And I'm not saying it's just them. Globe, PLDT are also coming out bigger, better, stronger from all of this. Because again, there's such a need for it. Now, subscriber growth. Subscriber growth in the first quarter of the fastest growing broadband operator in the country gave them a market share of 59%. Their subscribers grew. Please take note of this. December 31, 2016, their subscribers were only 73,633. Fast forward, May 31, 2020, they grew their subscribers to 691,849. I'll let that I'll let that munch in. I'll repeat. December 31, 2016, subscribers 73,633. Fast forward May 31, 2020, 691,849. They grew their subscribers by leaps and bounds. Speaking of subscribers, if you have not subscribed yet, subscribe to my channel and smash the bell so you get updated. Parang awa nyo na, just kidding. Anyways, retention of customers. Their overall retention of customers, they call it the churn rate, meaning yung mga umaalis, is only 0.6%. That's very, very low. The industry average is around 1.2%, meaning a lot of the people that are subscribing to them are staying, sticking, hindi umalis, hindi nagpapalit. Now, I talked about the average revenue per user at the start. I'm gonna drill in with the numbers right now. So their residential average revenue per user went up again. Ibig sabihin, more people are upgrading, more people are getting add-ons. Before, it was 1,178 in 2018. 2019, it was 1,293. Again, it's the upselling of their packages. 99 pesos per month to have extra 10 Mbps. Then, capital expenditures. Their goal is to reach approximately 50% of the total households in the Philippines by 2025. There's around 27.5 million households, and they will be spending 22 billion between January 1, 2016 to March 31, 2022. That's their capex for that. Now, for 2020 and 2021, capex would be around 33 billion, around those numbers, so up until next year. And the goal of that is further development and expansion of their domestic backbone and distribution of their last mile connectivity. In the short term, the goal and their focus is to continue the rollout of their last mile over existing areas over the medium to long term, but they intend to have more and more coverage in new areas as the years would also go by. So that's what we've talked about over this past few minutes, over this past 25 minutes of us doing this video. We talked about what's happening in the entire landscape, the need for it. If there's one way for me to summarize all of this, is there's a lot of people who need it, and the need is continually rising. More people have the ability to spend. And if there's one thing that I do know, the coronavirus has further accelerated the need for people to get more broadband, faster broadband speeds. So there. In the next video, I want to talk about Converge versus PLDT versus Globe. If you're excited for that, comment. I want Converge versus Tel versus Globe. Ang haba, no? But just put whatever you want. But I'm excited for the next video if you're excited for it. I hope you guys got a lot from this. I hope this is something that added value to you. Again, 5 books. They're available via Shopee. You can just look at it in the description. Aside from the 5 books, 2 online courses about the basics in the stock market. One is with Chinkee Tan, Tagalog online course. Second is with Sean Si, English course on business, investing, entrepreneurship, and the stock market. Then I have other playlists from the basics of the stock market, ETFs, REITs, etc. They're also in the description below. For those who want to invest in US markets, it's in the description below. And all of the other pertinent information, details, and data, they're all in the description. You know the drill. It's in the description below. So I guess that's it. And of course, some of you have been waiting always. I want to stay until the end for something that's inspirational, motivational, something that's encouraging. Here's what I know. I know more now at 36 years old than I knew when I was in my early 20s. Right now, I know that there's still a lot of things to know. In my early 20s, I knew also that wala pa akong masyadong alam. But all I knew was I had a big dream. The distance between my dream to where I was also a big portion of it was I needed to invest. Don't get me wrong, hard work is important, saving money is important, hustling, the grit, the grind, loving what you do, being faithful with little, all of that are so important. But a portion of it also is I knew for me to be able to reach my dream was I needed to invest. And I don't know what your dream is. I don't know what it is. It may be getting this amount, getting this business, getting to travel here, getting to do this, buying this house, getting this. Whatever it is, there's one way for you also to get it. It's not the only way, but one way is to deploy capital, take in the risk, put in money that you don't need, money that's supposed to be able to fund that goal, and you let your goal run. And you keep on pushing for it. And you know what motivated me to study more? What motivated me to invest more in spite of risk, in spite of volatility, not being scared, is that my goal was bigger than my fear. And I say that to all of you right now watching this. I hope that your goal is bigger than any fear out there. I hope that your dream, your hustle to be able to hit that goal is bigger than whatever fear is out there. That's why you never listen to people around you. That's why I keep saying this over and over. You study this, but you make the decision on your own. You study this, but you take the time for you to be able to do your own research because it's your money. It's your responsibility. And I say this over and over and over because it's true. No one will take care of your money more than you. And you have to do it. And if you're my age, you're in your 30s, you say, Paano Marvin, you started in your 20s eh. Lamang na lamang ka na. No. It's never too late. The best time to start, the best time to begin, the best time to re-engage is now. Don't wait. Because if there's one thing that I do know, it's not just about deploying capital, it's not just about taking risks, it's not just about trying. The greatest asset that you have also is time. And the more you wait, the more you lose that opportunity. And I hope you do. That's why I never even say that I want to be the guru, I want to be, that's not me. I just want to be the person that creates the biggest difference and adds the most value to people. And that's what this channel is all about. So I hope you guys got a lot from this, and I hope that may nayak sa inyo. Joke lang. But I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all.